Right. Well, then, with that, we say goodnight. Good night, everybody.
Farewell.
Good night.
Couple quick things I have noticed.
People are like, wait, what?
The coal drawer specifically does not seem to be attached to the system, and compacting drawers do not show up as a thing either.
Probably because I haven't properly set them up, and that can only be blamed for me.
Oh, okay.
So
but coal is for some reason not showing up.
Because it's probably not connected to the...
Yeah.
Oh, I figured that drawers... So drawers don't just work by contact?
It's a different...
And then I'll be good for the next one.
Okie dokie.
Yep.
Okie dokie. Just get a fair amount of redstone off that. What's up? What's up?
Huh?
What?
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 Well, you don't need to be so secretive, dude.
Why
Everybody
are you
already knows.
Why are you doing this? What are you doing?
I can't help it.
Step Peter.
I didn't know you were a fan of front-loading washers. I always thought you were a top-loading guy. Never used one of these before.
I never used one of these. I think I got stuck.
I should have a front-loading washer. It's not bad, but you do have to leave it in a jar, otherwise you get mold.
Indeed, very much so. I am of
the hell was that noise?
It was clankety, clankety, clankety. I hastened my pickaxe.
There was stereo surrounded my ears.
It was stereo surrounded my ears.
Did I say the word stereo funny? For some reason that you were repeating what I said there, Z.
Well, I think you get the basic channel, but at least chat got that all in stereo with panning all over.
Oh, got you.
It doesn't
So what you need to do is you need to hook your microphone input on Discord to the same one that you route for that, so I can hear that as well too.
So that is a whole thing.
What's the whole thing?
That is a whole damn thing.
I don't doubt you. I recently started working with my mixer program, basically turning it into a DAW to try and work with some other software plugins for de-essers and all that kind of stuff. And it's a
whole thing.
Yeah, you can lose hours a day to learning how things work and how complicated it can be.
I was like today I spent probably an hour. Like it's literally 10 knobs on this on this piece of equipment, and I spent probably an hour and a half just adjusting like various. And it's like amazing how many different ways you can both like have it sound like all the different ways you can make it sound wrong or right based off of like you adjust one and everything else has to flip slightly. And it was like it's such a balancing game. And that's not even getting into the PDFs I've read on electrical interference and ground hums and how routing and like, oh my God.
And then working with the latency and making sure everything is routed at the exact optimal path and it's all low latency and everything works together. And
because I've always stuck with pure hardware, I don't have latency. I don't do any software processing, so it's all just signal mixing. And I've been, like on the one hand, I know that if I were to make this any more complex, then that would be one of the first things I have to deal with. But yeah, I've managed to avoid that for the most part. I know that Autopilot, who's a huge Twitch music creator, he does a lot of live loop songs and stuff. I actually commissioned him for my stream anniversary to do some songs.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, they are such a vibe. Like he has such a sound. It's like he's got this weird 70s funk on Sweet Child of Mine, and or Pour Some Sugar on Me, and I love it. But anyway, but he creates all of his he'll create entire songs just live, and have a whole thing with probably 20, 30 different loop tracks ongoing. But in his Discord, he gives advice on setups and everything. But it's basically it all boils down to low latency.
Yeah,
like everything is. Latency will destroy any attempts you have at enjoying life.
Yeah. Because my stuff is also pretty low latency. I run it through my hardware mixer, and that's like 1 millisecond, pretty much, like almost as low as you could possibly get. But then depending on the plugin, it's like, okay, this plugin's going to add 120 milliseconds of latency.
I hope we get a nether quartz
time to adjust everything. Time to compensate my camera and audio input and my Spotify and everything to make sure it all lines up perfectly. And then you change another plugin. It's like, let's add 50 more milliseconds. That's
yeah. Just as soon as you add that, then it becomes the like it's just things that. One of the things that I tell people when they ask about what's it like streaming or what are the things is like you don't understand. If you get any slightly in depth at all, then you become you at least need to learn the very basics of audio engineering. Like you need to understand, like I have to know how the frame latency on my camera in order to be able to sync that up properly with the audio input lags on my microphone and have all that line up. And it's like
I want to read off notifications, but I also don't want to deafen.
So simple, but as soon like you said, as soon as you try and do anything fancy,
then I'll miss them wanting to start.
That's been me with audio mixing for the last little bit. I think I have 5 different ways to lower or increase volume, and I'm thinking, in no way could I ever convince someone.
There's still time on this conversation. I will read off some notifications. Let's see. We had Zoe August with 11 months. Week has been pretty good, dude. Bloodless with 23 months. Can't believe it's been this long. Lunchtime, 33 months. JX Gen with 27 months. Thanks for the 27 months of quality content. Ashlyn does the thing with 9 months. Happy Twitch BB. His name shall be Gerald. Tip 11,200 bits. Any idea when the next sub-server tour will be? I've been over a month since the last one. Fast you can get it on the 1.18 sub-server. Fast you can get it on the 1.19. I know. I said I was going to do it last week. I have to do it this week. I'm the worst person on the planet. Cicerone, 38 months. Been a long time since I last watched live. Happy to support you from afar. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. Void Tiger with 5 months. Odiera, 29 months. Glumpidimus, thank you for the sub and 200 bits. How do I do the new snapshot? You load up Minecraft. You choose snapshot. When you make world, you enable snapshot data pack. And then it work. Melanie SDK Pop, 22 months. Archimic, 3 years. Dragon's Flame, 7 months. Epic Face, 7 months. Love your content. Been watching since Skyblock days. Well, thank you very much. Much appreciated. Rogue Master, 200 bits. Been a while, Cap. Really enjoying the mod pack. I was wondering, has the rain been an issue? I heard it got pretty bad recently. I mean, the power went out one night when it was raining really, really, really hard, which means the sump pump for drainage isn't going, which it wouldn't flood the house. It would just cause a lot of water to roll down the hill when it shouldn't. Fortunately, the power didn't stay off for more than a couple hours, so it was okay. Didn't have any leaks though, which is good. So yeah, and then LA came by and cleared out all of the dirt that flowed into the road finally a couple days ago. I was off-roading a little bit when I had to leave the house. Cosmic Calamities, 32 months. Moths, that's a lot of moths. Yeah. How about on Bedrock? Oh, I don't remember how you get the snapshot on Bedrock. It changes regularly. But yeah. Alrighty, let's see. Well, I figured out what I was going to order for Din Din. Gonna get some pasta, some Brussels sprouts. Gonna be delicious. And, yeah, okie doke. Let's see if we are resuming or not.
I mentioned this before. I feel like in an alternate reality, I would probably love to take up, concert mixing, just audio mixing in general as a profession, because it fascinates me a lot, even though I haven't really delved into it too much because I've been doing other things with my career, obviously, right? But just the idea of working in that industry fascinates me a lot. So I don't know, I've loved learning about this kind of stuff and talking about it. It's very enjoyable to me.
I would love to learn how to do live looping and stuff like that.
It's like magic watching it happen. I love it.
It's crazy. Anyway, welcome back, Sparky. How you doing?
Back, Jordan.
I didn't want to interrupt your conversation.
You were like, I'm out.
I went to the bathroom and then there was no room for me to interject, so I read notifications.
Fair enough. We're sorry. We weren't trying to exclude you.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm glad you have your passion projects and stuff like that.
I was trying to explain to him, and while also saying I don't fully understand the wonkiness of your interface has a license or something that you have to worry about.
Oh yeah, it's really freaking stupid and dumb. Yep.
I was like, he's trying to explain it to me, and I just get confused. why don't you buy something else?
Well, I did buy something else, and I can't get the audio to sound proper in that one, so I ended up just going in, because I bought a new one when I changed my PC, and I was like, so I don't have to transfer the license over, I'll just keep the old one on the other PC, which is now set up for the racing simulator. And then I got the new one, tried setting it up, and it was like, why doesn't this sound right? And I couldn't find, I tinkered with it for like a couple hours, and I just couldn't get it to sound proper. So I was like, you know what, I'll just use it on the racing simulator and transfer the old one over, and hopefully the new one, or the old one, doesn't break. So, yep.
That's it.
What is that?
That's it.
Negative exterior. Ooh.
That's what you want. That's what you're looking for.
That is very pretty. Okay, cool. Well, shall we do the thing?
Yep. I am ready to go.
Good to go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of StoneBlock 3, brought to you by our sponsor, who hosts the server that we're playing on, MC Pro Hosting. If you're interested in grabbing a server for yourself, you can get 25% off your first month by going to the links in the description of the stream